This is Marketing of Today. I'm Cesar. Let's go. Hey, Rosalyn. Welcome to Marketing of Today. How you doing today?
I'm great, Cesar.
We haven't
Thank you
seen
for having me.
Happy New Year, Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year to you.
I know we haven't seen each other in a while. By the way, I have a gift here. I just remember that Wayner left for you.
Oh,
A Christmas one. It's a little late, but we got it for you.
I'll
right
take
here.
it. Late gifts are good.
Sorry, Wayner. I haven't seen her. I couldn't So how you doing? How's your family? How's everything?
Everything's good. Busy. Family's great. We're just getting over.
By the way, congratulations with your podcast.
Well, thank you. And thank you again, because you're the one that, helped me get this launched.
We started together, but it's I just felt great that you chose me and that I was part of your team. And I'm like, anything you need anytime, you let me know. I'm always here.
Yes.
You know that.
I know that. I know that.
It's not for the camera.
You're doing bigger and bigger things. So, I just wanted to give you some time off.
We're trying. It's a lot of work.
I know.
18 hours or 20-hour days, but it'll pay off in the future.
It will pay off. Exactly.
So,
putting the time in now to be better later.
Yes. And that's something I noticed too, right? What I'm putting in the time in for now is not what I was putting in the time for back 2 years ago when I started. So before I used to put in the time to just figure out what the hell I was doing.
Right.
But now it's like, I know what I'm doing, but now it was the next step.
Exactly.
So I added this room here back, when was it? We were talking about all this back in...
Like October, November, right?
Around, yeah. So I added this room last year. But and the whole purpose was for me to start my own podcast.
I remember.
But
we talked about that.
I was busy with the customers. I usually get busy like mid-year, and then everything slows down a little bit. But I got busy, and then it was like, too much to handle.
Things popped on.
Yeah, and then I was like, I can't start a podcast. And then I added the guy that's working with me. He's helping me edit so I can breathe a little more.
Great.
Then I found this girl, which is great in marketing. That's where you see all the colors.
Love it.
Like, all the logos. And then that other style that, by the way, I want you guys to comment below. What do you think about the style we're doing for the reels and for that stuff to get your attention to come watch the full video? Let me know. What do you think about that?
I think it's amazing. It looks great. I love
the
it.
Subtitles, the whole thing, right?
Subtitles, the color scheme, the black and white.
I'm going to give you guys a gem right now. A gem. Use popular songs, even if it's a video. Just figure out. I'm not going to tell you how, but figure out how to put the music and your voice over it.
Love it.
Nobody's doing that.
I have an app for that too.
She got the tricks. Everything is out there. All you got to do is find it and do it. And that's the hardest point. I want to start right there with you.
Yes.
You teach people a lot about real estate, about how to, get their
first home, first
investment, all that.
Yes.
And also their Section 8s. And I know you go deep.
Yes.
Go to her page and you'll see it. What do you think stops people from getting started?
From getting started is always the fear of, I've heard so many bad stories is what I always hear. That and the money, of course.
The money's not such a big problem though, right?
It's really not. I think that people make it bigger than what it is. Because if you have an income, you have a job, and you have
the
a
credit
decent number, and you have the decent credit, those are enough qualifications to get you approved.
Yeah, and then you can also literally have family members join with you in a deal. They put down the money, and you put down your credit.
That's right.
You're good, and you have your first investment property.
That's right. I had this conversation last week with someone that was like, hey, I just don't qualify because I don't make enough. I said, do you have a sister that rents? Do you have a cousin that rents?
Yeah.
Do you have a mom that rents? Add up all the rent amount that those people are paying.
And you just buy your house.
You guys can live together in a 3-family home and own it.
And then you're paying yourself the rent. And not only that, how much will you pay in mortgage? This is for educational purposes.
Depending on the price of the home. But
let's say something in 500 area.
500 plus taxes, I don't know, 3,500, 3,800.
If we calculate the numbers of rent that we pay these days, we're talking about 6,000. So you'll save half of your rent.
Exactly.
By buying with 3 people that it's family.
Yes.
And then each one lives in their own floor. It's not like you're all living together. You're living in each individual floor. And then you have a house.
Yeah.
You have an investment.
And this particular person was like, I've never thought about that. I said, really? You've never thought about it? But I guess, it doesn't come natural to everyone.
Yeah.
We
live in this world.
Find the solution to the problem. It's like, I have a problem. I can't fix it. And I'm just going to sit back and let it be.
Yeah, but that's another thing. I've been thinking a lot about that too, because, as marketing, you're great at it. I'm good at it. we are always thinking about how we're going to get this content out to people.
Yes.
And I'm like, the thing is that a lot of people want to be super educated with the messaging. And I'm like, remember that who you're talking to doesn't do this in a day-to-day basis. Yes. We do this in a day-to-day basis. Of course, mortgage, ROI, all those. Yeah. That's easy for us. For them, it's like,
right.
If they heard it from their brother that's bad, they're like, oh, that's bad.
That's right.
But if you explain it like we just did, we literally just explained it that way, anybody will get it.
And when I teach my classes, that's my primary focus, is to not dumb it down. It's bad to say that, but it's to make it so that even someone in middle school can understand what I'm saying.
But don't feel bad about using the dumb it down, because there's a book. There's for dummies, everything for dummies.
Oh yeah, everything for dummies. Exactly.
The reason they did that book like that is because of not everybody understands.
And it's really shocking to me when in my head, I think that someone knows one thing, and then when I re-explain it, I'm like, oh, this person really doesn't understand what I was saying. I have to scale it back and make it very simple and easy to process, right? Because you start using all these big words and people start getting anxious and they're like, oh.
It's the same as us going to the bank sometimes, and the banker starts talking about all types of accounts. We don't deal with that in a day-to-day basis. Right. And for, me personally, I'm marketing in this stuff, but anybody who deals with a bank in a day, they understand the language, but I don't understand it.
Exactly.
So it's the same way for us, right? It's me too, when I'm trying to explain something about marketing, I'm like, how can I say this? And then I start going, let me give you an example. Imagine you had a store and the store was in the main street of the city. That's what Instagram could be for you, because by you paying advertising, you're going to be in everybody's faces. It's like being on Main Street.
That's right. That's a good explanation. There you go. Instead of the person saying, I don't like Instagram because people want to know your business, people want to gossip, and people want to...
That's only like 10% though.
That's if you see it like that, you're never going to see the potential that it has.
But that's like 10%, because honestly, me being in here, I was never good at marketing. I am one of those who believe that if I'm not doing it good for my customer, but I'm doing it amazing for myself, the customer is going to be looking at my page and going to be like, why isn't he not doing that for me? Okay. So I focus on doing great for my customers, and then I do it on myself. Right. And even like that, a lot of people are calling me like, yo, why don't you do this for me? Yeah. We got to keep images different. It can't be the same. Yes. But a lot of, social media came, the attention is there and is underpriced.
Right. It hasn't even hit its full potential yet.
It's underpriced.
Yeah.
And then where we're going next, which if I start talking about that,
forget it.
Nobody's going to understand.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about 10 years ahead. But remember, and I said this on the episode I recorded last week, remember, we were using High Five MySpace.
Exactly.
14 years ago?
At least 14 years ago.
And 14 years later, we have a cell phone that has 4 like cameras, 10 different platforms. And then you got cameras, you got... Yeah. Remember what needed to be done in this stuff that we're using here to record?
Remember when we used to print flyers to promote a business or a concert or a party in the neighborhood?
People didn't have no problem doing that. Why do they have a problem using social media?
Because they don't know they don't understand the value, I think. Because if you're on Facebook all day and all you do is comment on other people's gossip and family drama and boyfriend drama, girlfriend drama, that's all you think that Facebook does.
By the way,
right?
And that's something, thank you for bringing that up. What happens is Facebook, right, analyzes what you like.
Of course.
Okay, so you like this remote? Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to give you the other one.
See.
The other one.
Yep.
The other one. Because that's what you like. So if you like gossip, if you like talking bad about people, Facebook is just saying, oh, so let me feed you more. Let me feed you about LA. Do you know something? Do you know how much stuff happens in LA with the paparazzi? Yeah. I don't get one news a day. Why? Because that's not what I'm interested in.
Exactly.
So if you're interested in that, that's how they get your attention. And now to give you a little bit of value about that, because people are interested in that and people are showing Facebook they're interested in that, is that person like me, Cesar, decides to target that person because of their interest.
Exactly.
That you're showing the social media. And that's how I'm becoming your face. I'm in your face.
I'm in your face. Yeah.
Because
that's exactly what it is.
I'm just paying advertising to be where you are.
That's right. Where you're looking. You're already
like
looking.
If you're in Main Street, there's
Yeah.
a billboard.
Right.
Because that's where you're at. You're
Absolutely.
looking at that billboard.
Absolutely.
It's real estate.
Yeah, exactly. Digital real estate in your face.
So
yes,
I know that you came from the hotel world. You worked in, for years in that.
Yes.
And you have a lot of experience, and you were able to use some of that experience that you learned because you were in a high position, right?
Yeah, I was corporate revenue management.
So you knew how that world worked. Now you used it for yourself.
Yes.
You got out of the 9 to 5, and today you were able to enjoy making a podcast in the middle of a Thursday.
Yeah.
And
then grabbing a coffee, taking the kids out later.
What we call a nice lifestyle. Going to Dave & Buster's was
Dave
yesterday,
& Buster
right?
last night, yeah.
In the middle of the week.
That's right.
It's
a luxury. I couldn't do that when I was working till 6 o'clock at night.
You know that I had to do that last week. I was about to have a nervous breakdown. So much pressure, so much stuff. I was like, midday, I was like, I'm out. I don't want to turn off my phone. And I went to, I like go-karting.
Nice.
I went and I did 4 races.
There you go.
Brand new.
That's it. You were happy.
I came back to work and I was good.
You have to do it sometimes.
Those are the luxuries, but
yeah,
you have to put the work for
That's what I did last night. I texted my husband before he got out of work. I was like, hey, I think we should take the kids to Dave & Buster's. And by kids, I mean me. Like I need to go.
You need it.
I need to play some games, have a beer.
Why? Can you explain why?
Because it's too much. It's a lot
and
going
you
on.
Disconnect.
And I disconnect, and I don't want to talk about Zoom calls and meetings.
Because if you're home, you're gonna check the email.
Exactly.
You're gonna check the messages.
That's right.
But if you go away, you're
That's
free.
it. And it's something so simple, right? Right at home, right in your town. You don't have to fly anywhere. A couple of hours, you're good.
Yeah, definitely.
Back to work.
Definitely. And for real, that day, and then I stayed here in the office 8 hours and worked. But my mind was already like brand new.
Yes, refreshed.
So
absolutely,
give us some of the insights from all the years of experience in that world.
Yeah, so I worked in hospitality. So a couple of brands, very well recognized hotel brands. The last brand was the biggest hotel chain in the world. We own they own properties everywhere: U.S., Europe, Caribbean. So my main role was to price the hotel rooms. So that we would make our monthly
some gold there
and monthly numbers that we had to then report to our owners. So I was the director of revenue management. So that's the position. But in that position, I also had to work closely with our sales department to come up with our marketing plan, our business plan for the year. We did this like a year in advance every year.
Oh, wow.
So
whatever you're doing now is a year ago?
Is a year ago.
Wow.
Yes.
So if you were killing it, you hit a home run since a year ago.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
so
crazy.
that actually trained me really well because when I think of my marketing plan for Urban Teach, I already know what I want to get done by the end of the year.
Oh, wow.
So every quarter, I break it down into quarters. So like this quarter, I'm focusing on these specific classes. By second quarter, I already have it written down. I know exactly what I need to be focused on. So when I got to start promoting those things,
you already know.
The work is already done. It's just putting the marketing behind it.
Oh, this is amazing.
So that taught me how
that's
to.
hard for me, but yeah, that's amazing.
How to think like that, which is half the battle, right? It's like rearranging your mindset to think that way.
And if you think about it, it's easier to turn off a fire if you already planned it ahead of time. Yeah. And if you're planning it right there and then.
Yeah, because anything could happen. If I wait till April to plan my April classes, but then I have a fire in a unit or my investment is underwater, I get sick, God forbid, like anything can happen. So I don't want to wait till then to plan
your stuff,
that quarter, right?
That's actually really smart. So when can I get the cheapest dates in a hotel?
Sunday nights, Monday nights, and Thursday nights.
See,
in any major city.
You see, that's why we're having the vacation. Yes. We have the control of our vacation. So Sunday nights, Monday nights,
and Thursday nights.
Thursday nights, you know it. And my wife, you know that I'm taking vacation on Sundays and Mondays.
So for me, I want to stay at a 5-star property soon in the city in New York that I haven't been to in a while. I'm gonna stay on a Sunday night.
By the way,
take Monday off and just
text me if you find one really good on a Monday night because I want to stay in one of those high rises with the view.
I got you.
That's like, but quick story. I got here in 2018. I was walking in the city. All I had was $20 in my pocket. I used to work, but make no income. I used to live in a couch, thanks to my uncle and my family, right? But I was still recording all my YouTube videos that nobody can find. Nobody's going to watch.
You never know.
Now they
will. Now they want to go back and see it.
They're not going to see it. Hopefully they don't find it. But I used to push myself because I came from a depression. So I had to push myself to understand that you have to put in the work. You have to do what you got to do. If you don't do it, nobody's going to do it for you. Yeah. And that's a misconception that I had before, where it was like, why I'm not getting this? And it was because I wasn't putting the work. I was watching Netflix. I was watching TV. And I'm like, people, I recorded more than 300 videos with no views.
But you put in the work.
I used to record a daily blog. No views.
Wow.
And then on top of that, remember, if you have no views, if you're not making any money on the platforms, you're basically taking those $300 that I used to make a week, figuring out a way to only spend $100 and buying $200 camera, lens, microphone, and investing in myself.
Right.
For today, 2022.
Look at that.
Amazing. I have a podcast studio. I have a marketing video production company. I have people that work with me. Yes. I have a very big client list.
Good client list.
Exactly.
An amazing professional client list.
Amazing client list. I'm blessed. Oh my God.
You are blessed, sir.
I am. No, for next every year when the year ends, I just sit down and say thank you.
That's part of it. Gratitude.
But we put in the work.
Yeah, of course.
Even, I know that you put in the work and you're seeing everything flourish.
Yes.
People put in the work.
Still working though. It never ends. It never stops.
Talk to me about your podcast, because she's a guest podcast here, but you guys can go listen to her. What is it called? The name?
Dinero Twins.
And who's your guest? Lisa, right?
Lisa's my co-host. Yeah, nice. So we both.
I said guest.
We're partners. Yes, in the venture.
What's funny is that I edit the episodes, people.
Yes, hello.
And I'm calling her a guest.
It's okay. It's okay. So yeah, we co-host the podcast. It's a bilingual money and business podcast. So we're both very passionate about money and business. We call ourselves Dinero Twins because we're very similar in so many ways. One, we're from the Bronx. We're Dominican. We love everything money and business is like gets us excited and happy, right? So don't call me about Love and Hip Hop Atlanta or New York, because I really don't care. But if you call me with an article that came out about, Airbnb market share, I'm going to be very excited. So we're very, very similar. So
you have Airbnbs, right?
I did. I no longer do because I sold that property.
Oh, really? Yeah. But before you sold it, because I heard that this year the Airbnb industry was going to triple. It's
about probably almost double.
Double.
Yeah. In terms of room nights booked.
Yeah, because you didn't have enough.
Yes,
they didn't have enough to book it.
Right, exactly. So yeah, it's a big business, but again,
what you sold?
I got the cash instead.
You gotta know when you do the business transactions.
Exactly.
And you gotta know when to get in and stay.
You gotta know when to get in and when to get out.
Yeah.
So I always tell people, it's good to have a long-term plan. But if you're sitting on a nice nest egg that you can double by taking it out.
How long you had it for?
9 years.
There you go.
Yeah.
So remember, the real estate market did this.
Yeah.
So it was better for you to sell,
of course,
than to continue renting.
Exactly.
You got to know when to get out.
Yes, you got to know when to get out. You can't be afraid of reinvesting that money. Don't go and spend it on a
because I
trip to
bet for money that you most likely bought another property with that.
I invested in 57 units in Pennsylvania.
Ooh,
wait, you didn't know about this?
No.
I didn't tell you?
Sí, yes. Rosalyn me tiene botado.
Es verdad. I'm so sorry.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh my God. You know how happy that makes me? Because instead, everybody talks about the cars, the gold chains, the Gucci's, the Prada.
I drive a nice little Nissan Rogue that I'm very happy with.
The shoes, the red bottoms.
Nope, I don't even have a pair.
Really?
No pairs.
See? No red bottoms.
I don't need them.
What do you need? You need to. What are you doing this for? Like, at the end of the day, why are you buying all these properties? Why are you doing all this? Besides fulfilling your own personal gain.
Yeah, so I can have freedom of time. I can spend my money. I don't have to worry about where I spend my money. I can just take a month off, own a villa in Dominican Republic one day on the beach. Right?
Oh, wow. Beautiful.
Take my kids to LA for a show. Take my kids to an island for the weekend. It's just those little things.
Enjoy life with your family too. You got more time to spend it with the family. Right? Yes. We're almost wrapping up the podcast because you're going to go pick up your babies and spend the rest of the afternoon with them a little bit, and then, do the homework. Right. That freedom to enjoy yourself.
Exactly. But I didn't always think that way. So 15 years ago, I did have the bags and the shoes and the very high credit card debt from spending money on brands and $20 cocktails in New York, in rooftops and all that. You know, I talk about that a lot because I'm like, you got to go through that phase
to burn out.
To burn out and see that you threw away so much money on things that weren't important to then be like, you know what? Now when I do have it.
You know that I think I went through all that really early.
Okay, good. The earlier, the better.
You know why? Because when I was 20, the reason I got in depression was because I had to declare bankruptcy at like 22.
Wow. Yeah, that's early.
It was early, but it was that. It was the partying. It was every day I was out buying bottles, going to the clubs.
I did all of that. Yep.
I got lucky that I was living with my parents while I did that. I had where to fall back to.
Yeah.
But imagine if I didn't.
Right.
Right. I know that a lot of people out there, they don't have where to fall back to. So be careful with the choices that you make, because at the end of the day, they could make you or break you.
Right, right. And the thing is, if you don't break away from that mentality, like even if you have it, just put value on your money, right? Like I put a lot of value on my money. I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy this $3,000 bag. It's going to sit in my closet. It's going to come out of my closet maybe 4 times a year. Do I really need it? Or do I just go buy myself a $800 bag? I mean, is it still going to fit my wallet and my phone?
At the end of the day, right?
Like, you know.
And I think
that's how I think.
Do you think that if you spend money on something, should it be 10% of your income? Like, I think a lot about that. Like, I spend whatever it costs me to buy a camera. I don't care.
Yeah.
Because I make money.
But you're going to get that money back.
Exactly. I make money off of this. That's why, that's why I love my business, because it's something I really like and I enjoy doing. But if you tell me, buy a car, the only reason I buy a car is for the tax deduction. I'm not going to buy it just because I'm going to have a car parked there, because I just bought another car, 2009 Mazda.
Okay.
3.
Fine.
I love it.
There you go. But it's all in how you feel.
Because my other car, the one that I had, I put 37,000 miles in the first year, and I'm suffering the value of the appreciation that if it wasn't because of how everything went, because of the, what's it called?
Inflation.
The inflation. I would have lost money in that car big time.
Right, right.
But imagine if I wouldn't have put those miles, I would have gained it. So it was a conscious decision to buy a cheaper car. But when I bought it and I got in it, I enjoy driving it. Because I noticed that I have driven Porsches, I have driven the Ferraris, because, the industry that we're in, everybody has those cars.
Right, exactly.
So it's like, now that I've driven those, I'm like, it's just a car.
Right. Well, that's the thing. That's the biggest mind switch. And you got to be so thankful when it happens.
I know.
Is when you're like, you know what? I'm not doing it for nobody else. Like, I'm doing it for myself.
And
it feels really good, because I'm like, you can look at me and say, I've had people tell me, you've made 6 figures for the last 15 years in hospitality. And I'm like, yeah, you should be driving a this or that.
A Mercedes or whatever. Yeah.
And I'm like, I know I could go take one out right now if I want.
I know. That's the best feeling.
I could do it, but I won't do it.
You know, the best feeling is having access to something and you choosing not to do it.
It doesn't matter to me. It's not important to me.
And and who taught me that was investors. They taught me that because of the value of the money.
Yes.
They're like, bro, yeah, cool. There's a Mercedes. I can go buy one right now. I have the money. Like, I have the credit. I have everything. I can get it.
Exactly.
But
nothing's stopping you. It's
do I really need it? Is the question.
Right. The biggest life lesson for me, the last hotel I worked for in New York was owned by an Indian family. It was the father, the mother, and the daughter. The daughter went to NYU. She was like 27. She was managing she was the ownership representative for the hotel. She drove a Nissan Sentra. Had a little Coach bag, and her father was worth $37 million. and she lived in an apartment in Queens, like no big deal. And this is how the family walked around. But they would spend a whole month in Dubai, 1 month out of the year.
Because it's a choice.
Private planes. But when you look at them, I would be like, I mean, why does she dress like that? Because I didn't understand it.
It's by choice. People do things just because they don't want to do it.
Right.
They have the money, they could do it, but it doesn't fulfill them. So do whatever makes you happy. Is what I believe in.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
If it's literally spending your home in your house making a barbecue, that's the best times that I spend with my family in DR.
Yeah.
And when I was a kid, the best experience that my parents left me was when we were broke, because we just got here and it's a process. When we were broke, us making some sandwiches or getting Burger King and going to a park and playing with a basketball, it's more sure like I enjoy that. I have enjoyed that better.
Yeah.
And it's a bigger memory on my mind.
Right.
Than us going to hotels,
See?
going to different places, enjoying life, going to the restaurants and stuff. I feel like this is more
meaningful. Yeah.
Meaningful.
For sure.
So yes, we went to a little deep here, but so you're talking to us about the marketing strategies and stuff like that, so to give some people 10 cents of this information.
Yeah. So, what I wanted to share with Cesar or with you guys too, listening. So in the hotel industry, they break up, let's say we have 10 rooms to sell, right? And the way that they do their marketing for selling the rooms, which is what makes them the money, is to give it a category of who you want that room to be sold to. So if you have 10 rooms in your inventory, right? It's like 10 rentals, 10 rooms. 2 of those rooms are going to be given to Expedia because we know that Expedia has a huge platform where people book hotels, right? 2 of those rooms. So
basically they have exclusives.
Yes. Okay. 2 of those rooms are going to be given to the corporate segment. So if you have corporate accounts like IBM, Gap, Amazon, those corporate travelers that come for those companies to stay in the city, those 2 rooms get allocated for corporate. 3 rooms might be for the leisure segment. Leisure segments are tour and travel companies that bring in travel groups from other countries, from Spain, from Mexico, from Brazil. And then so forth and so forth. So the marketing strategy in the hotels is to take the inventory and give each small bulk of that inventory to a segment. Who's going to buy that inventory? In the event that one of those people don't buy the 2 rooms, and you're planning this ahead, remember, then you redistribute it to the other guys.
To whoever's booking more.
Whoever's booking more, right.
So when they're spending their marketing dollars, they're spending it, for example, in the Expedia platform, they're
paying for ads.
And then on the luxury platform, where it's people traveling into the city, they're basically calling the agents, being like, "Hey, we have rooms available." And then on the corporate side, they're calling the corporate companies and letting them know we have this available.
Right. Or they have a corporate sales manager that only handles those companies. So the corporate sales manager is in charge of going out there, taking out the person at Apple, the person at Amazon, out to lunch, out to dinner, buying them drinks, and then giving them a special rate so that they could feed it to their travel department. So I use that same skill or that same mind frame when it comes to my business. Like, okay, I got 50 spots for my classes. I know that, 5 of those spots can go to my member groups.
Okay.
My membership group.
Because you have a membership,
at 20% off because I want to fill those 5 seats with them.
You already have, and then by fulfilling those, you already got 5 in.
Exactly. 10 seats 10 spots I need to sell 3 weeks before. So I'm going to start promoting 3 weeks before because I already know that the last 10 seats are going to probably fill up within 7 days of the class. So
gold right here, people.
Strategy, again, and this applies to every business. Like if you're just trying to fill a slot with business, whatever that is, sell the product, get appointments for your videography, get appointments. If you plan it ahead and you're like, okay, in the summer months, I'm going to get all the brunches and the baby showers and the this. And then in the winter, I'm going to get the weddings and the da-da-da. Segment it into who is your ideal customer for that time of the year.
I'm learning here. Because the way I do it is when I want to get people's attention, right? To the page. Let's put it the way. I do stories, and in the stories I promote them, and then people start dripping into my page. When I want to get people watching stuff in the YouTubes, I promote a post.
Yes.
And then but I'm promoting different segments. But I didn't think of it that way.
That's okay too. Yeah, you want to put it at the beginning. You want to spread it all over, but when you have a customer base, then you want to start retargeting your customer base. Right?
That's something I have to start doing as well, and probably the reason why I haven't done it is because a lot of the weight was on me, so I had to handle a lot of stuff. But I need to figure out a way to always maintain my customers. Hey, how you doing?
Right.
How's everything? Because I have a nice customer list.
You do, yeah.
If they don't call me, I don't call them.
Do you use email marketing for your customer? Do you have an email marketing list?
Marketing, yeah. I don't do it.
I do.
I don't do it.
You need to. Every appointment you go to and every customer you have, you should be having their email in a database.
I have everybody's email because they're on my phone.
Yeah.
Because I send them the files and the stuff, so I have their email already.
And then you can book stuff way in advance. You can say, do you have a birthday this summer? Do you have a wedding this summer? Do you have an interview, a podcast, or whatever?
We're trying to get into the wedding segment, by the way.
it's a great segment. That's why I mentioned it. For photography, it's huge. I mean, I'm sure.
I know, and I seen the prices those people charge. I'm like,
Yeah.
for one, that special
And
moment is
the
caro.
biggest, hey, my second marriage, so I could tell you yes, sale caro.
The videographers charge a lot in that segment. 6 to 7 is the cheapest I've heard
Yeah.
for anything.
So there's money to be made.
And then what I see as well is, and me as an editor and videographer, I could be doing it so much better than what I see out there. They do it so generic and so.
Because you have the eye. You already know. You're skilled.
So we're coming into the weddings, Total Social Weddings.
Yes, there you go. What?
Total Social Weddings. That's an interesting name. But
I actually like it. It sounds good.
I created TSMG Productions now.
I saw that. Yes.
So TSMG Productions is the company that is just going to produce content. So anytime, for example, if you come in now and say, I want to do a podcast, I will help you start the podcast. I will help you, the name, the logos. So I will produce.
Yes, it's necessary.
I'm going to ask you a question. I don't know if it's going to be on the podcast or not.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking about making a whole women podcast, 4 women panel in real estate.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna manage it, record it, everything. And then we'll also sit down and talk about other things. But,
yeah.
But I'm thinking about doing that. What do you think?
I like it as long as you can get the same group of women all the time.
Yeah.
It's a big commitment from.
That's why it has to be people
you will have to circle it. Like, okay, I got 4 people to choose from. This week is these 2. The next week is these 2.
No, but it's not with me.
Okay.
It's like creating I'm just gonna be the producer.
Okay. I thought you meant like
No, I'm not in it. It's just 4 women.
Okay, I like it.
Talking every week, like one episode every week.
Yeah.
For 6 months straight.
I like it. That could work.
But we will record it. What we'll do is we'll segment it and record it. Mm-hmm. The way
in advance. Yeah.
Definitely
to get everybody on schedule. Yeah. Because
that's the thing, everybody has different schedules.
Right.
But I'm thinking of one big person that I told you about earlier.
Uh-huh.
Her, you, and one more. I have one more, but I gotta see if she's gonna be on it.
Okay, we could talk about it.
Yeah. I think we talked about this once.
You did mention it to me, yeah. And the production on events too. You talked about.
But that's something. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna be in.
I saw that. I love it.
I remember I told you.
Congrats.
Do you remember we talked about this in your event last year?
We did. Yes. And you made it happen.
No, Yay. I just got the call.
Well, because you're already part of the team, if you think about it.
And I know, but I think it's just a product. Like when you
projected it.
I put it in the universe. I said that this year I was gonna do one. I don't care how, but I was gonna do one.
There you go.
And I got one, and then I think I got a second one.
Nice. Congrats.
So
listen. But that's very important is what you have in your mind that you want to do, say it out loud, right? Put it out all there. All the time. I kept saying, I want to invest out of state. This call I got. Hey, Roz, I got this opportunity in Pennsylvania.
And then you have a 57 door, right?
57 doors.
57 doors, people.
Yeah. I mean, me and a group of other investors.
Yeah, but it's a lot of doors, and I bet you that the price wasn't that crazy.
We got a really good deal, and it's worth a lot more than... Yeah. So, but my point is...
When you calculate the rent and when you deduct what you pay for it, you're basically cashing in a lot of money. So, congratulations.
Thank you. But the point is putting it out there.
Yeah.
Right? Because you never know you say it, someone might be thinking, oh, I need one more person to jump on this deal with me.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember. Ross said that.
Yep.
And there you go. They make the connection for you.
And then the other thing as well is when you're a good person...
Of course,
you do good to others.
It's included, yeah.
You're not cocky because
never.
Everybody, look how you come. When we started the podcast, where everybody for the past weeks since I've been doing the episodes out there, everyone's like, "Oh, you're a natural. It comes out good."
You are natural,
and I'm like,
and I need you to give me some lessons because I'm a mess. When the camera's on, forget it.
I don't feel it though. I feel like I feel like I'm nervous. I drink water. I'm like looking at my phone, but it's because I don't know.
You'll get over that. It's a little learning curve.
I hope I don't drown in the middle of the stage.
No, you'll be fine.
But yeah, so Rosalyn, thank you so much for coming in. Dinero Twins every Wednesday, right?
Every Wednesday on YouTube, yes, and all you love your audio platforms.
Of course.
Spotify, Apple.
Because the thing is, people are driving sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't want you to crash. And then if you're not paying for premium on YouTube, you can't watch it without unlocking your phone.
That's right.
So that's why you listen to it on the Apple, Spotify.
Apple and Spotify, yes.
And then as well, YouTube. So you got 3 platforms to listen from. You can listen with your family. You can listen by yourself. Teach your kids some new, gems.
Gems. And in Spanish too.
Yep. Spanish and English.
Yes.
I
very
remember
important.
we had a big conversation about making that decision.
Yes.
Congratulations, because I don't think I could. They do 2 episodes, people.
2 episodes every week, yes. And the Spanish part is very nerve-wracking because there's words that we just sometimes can't even get. But we're like, you know what? We're just going to say it anyway. You guys go over it, yeah. We got over it. We're just trying to get the information out. People that only speak Spanish, they get it. They understand it. So that's all that matters. And
then, you guys are killing it. I really love it. Listening to it, the information you're giving there is gold. Rosalyn, thank you so much for being in the podcast. Really appreciate you coming. I love the conversation, by the way. You look like a natural. You were answering perfect. And you were smiling. A lot better than the one you made last time, remember?
Yeah, that was terrible.
So, great job. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Cesar. I appreciate it. And best of luck with the podcast. You're doing amazing.
So follow her courses. She's Irvin Teach on Instagram, and you'll be able to listen to everything.
Yes. Thank you.
Peace.
Peace out.